been studying Russian since I was about 10 years old. Studied in high school. I studied in the University of Kentucky where I was a student. I began to pick it up again when I was in law school as kind of a diversion. It was like a hobby in law school. So that's often I've been studying it for a long time. I think Americans do a lot of bad things with a lot of inefficient things with language learning. For one thing, we start too late. That's one thing. Secondly, I think they teach foreign languages like they would teach classical Greek or something, or classical Latin. Those are dead languages, and you do grammar all day. So you have people that study French for 4 years, but they can't go order breakfast in Paris or whatever. I mean, that's how it is. So I think a lot of what I learned was really inefficient. I got Pimsleur Comprehensive when I was in law school, which they can take someone with no knowledge, and if you do what they tell you to do, and that means you have to do it every day, half an hour a day. Now there's 4 levels, so there's 3 levels then. In a few months, you'll be able to get around fairly well in Russian, but you have a limited vocabulary. You won't really know much about reading, but you'll be able to get around. I mean, you can be a tourist and get around and be fine. I'm on the email list for the St. John's Orthodox Church. I go to the Russian festival every year. In October, there's St. Nicholas and there's St. John's. And Marina had an ad for the Russian Morning Podcast. This is a comprehension course. There's several courses that you all have. One of them is like for beginners, one's for people at a certain level. And I thought I would give it a try. I wanted to improve my comprehension. I thought that was the big thing, to be able to understand Russian, spoken Russian better, and that was the hook for me. It probably isn't the course for everybody. Like I said, if someone didn't have very much experience and they were at a certain level, it probably wouldn't be much help to them. But I think for a person at the right level, it's very good. I think for what it does, it's the best course I've had for the price. If I was a complete beginner, I think somebody could probably come in and do like 4 levels of Pimsleur and go to your comprehension course and probably be fine. That's what I think. And those are both reasonably priced. That's why I say, because yours is very reasonably priced. 4 levels of Pimsleur is very reasonably priced. The audio comprehension is the big thing, and that's probably helped me more than anything. The way I did it was that I would listen and like to follow it, of course, in the printed word, and that's very helpful to me to see it and hear it at the same time, and then go into do the word games, go to Quizlet and do the word games, and there's different ways you can do that, and I don't do the writing. I'm not going to tell you I do not do the writing. I hate to write. I don't like to write in English, really. But yeah, I mean, it's, you can do the flashcards, you can do the word picking out and I'm really good at picking them out from the multiple choice. I'm really good at that because I have enough knowledge of Russian that I can, I don't have a lot of repeats for that. It's exponential. I mean, it really is. Your comprehension, particularly, you read it once at normal rate, read it second time at a slower rate. Oh yeah, the verbal comprehension is just, it's all adds up. I mean, you're sitting there, you're looking at it while you're listening, and then you go through on Quizlet and actually hear it repeated again. I like to hear the read again, and it's just, I don't know how I can put a percentage on it, but it works. It's quite good. I think most people fail because it takes a certain amount of effort, and people get into it first, like going to the gym. They do it for a while, and then after the first month or two, and somebody invites them to go to dinner, somebody invites them to do this or that, and they fall away. So I think that's important no matter what you're doing, whether it's losing weight, going to the gym, studying Russian, whatever. I think those are important. So you got to get past that first hurdle. You've got a certain amount of time you're going to have to put, not a terribly long amount of time, but a certain amount of time. And that's the first hurdle. Once you get past that, I think your course is as good as anything I have ever had for where I was when I started. The steps that were most helpful to me is basically I would listen to the reading, which is first at a normal rate of conversation, normal speed, and the second time I would listen, it would be at a slower rate. I would read through the written again, and the combination with the Quizlet word puzzle was just very, very helpful, very nice. The Russian Mobile Academy is for what it does, for what I did to improve my Russian comprehension, is probably the best thing I could have done. I would give it a 10 for anybody who wants to improve their Russian comprehension.